there and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. For my returning subscribers, welcome back. It's good to have you here. For new viewers who stumbled across my video here on YouTube, I'm very happy that you found me. Hopefully you will enjoy the reading and will decide to subscribe as well to the channel. So today's reading, I'm doing a weekly reading focusing on the energies surrounding us during the week of March 19th to March 25th, 2018. For the reading, I'm using the Good Tarot deck by Colette Baron-Reid. Pulled 3 cards. I've already shuffled and meditated off camera and have pulled the cards really just to try to save time. So there are 3 cards for the main spread, 1 additional card from the bottom of the deck. That's the overall energy for the week. And then I have 1 card from the Soul's Journey Lesson card deck by James van Praagh. Okay. As I usually say, please remember that these are general readings. The messages may or may not resonate with you. And the only way for you to get a truly personalized reading focusing on you and what's going on in your life right now will be to order a private reading from me. If you're interested, you can take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com. There you'll find the types of readings that I offer as well as pricing, or you could email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. Another quick reminder, coming up at the end of the month, we will have our second full moon in the month of March, right, the blue moon. I'll be putting out an extra video for that full moon, right, a full moon spread, and I will also be putting or doing an additional giveaway. So it's a free tarot reading. I like to do a giveaway at each full moon, so be watching for the video explaining about how to enter into that drawing. All right, so let me go ahead and lower my camera so we can see the cards a little better. So starting off here in the back row, we have in the past position, so the energy as we leave the weekend heading into the week of March 19th to the 25th, we have the 7 of Fire. This would be the 7 of Wands in the traditional deck. In the middle, we have the 0 card of the Major Arcana, Fool. And in the future position, we have Major Arcana number 4, Emperor. And the card that was at the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the week, we have the 4 of Water. The 4 of Cups in the traditional tarot. And the Soul's Journey card, and I'll read you the full meaning for this card at the end of the reading, is Success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love, and it's a beautiful kind of yellow and purple mandala. All right, so starting off with the 4 of Water card as the overall energy, so the 4 of Cups. Well, the Suit of Cups deals with emotions, feelings, right? The Suit of Water, it has to do with our feelings and relationships and also how our feelings influence our behavior, influence our relationships as well. Water also has to do with our intuition, psychic abilities. The 4 of Water is a card that speaks of daydreaming, right? It's a card of contemplation. You can see that the woman here, she's very focused on one pearl. The card is very light, so you might not be able to see it. So, you know, sometimes it's a card of apathy, right? Sometimes this card appears when we're a little bored with a situation or a relationship. Sometimes the card comes out when, when we're kind of focused on something, we're trying to figure it out, so we withdraw because we're a little bit uncertain. It's a card of introspection. But again, it's also a card of boredom and indifference, because usually we see there's a woman and she's usually staring at 3 cups, 3 chalices, and she's so focused on on those that she misses out on, something else. She misses out on, So I think I'm saying it backwards. Usually she's so focused on the one cup in front of her, and she doesn't notice, that there are 3 cups behind her. So it's that type of energy where, you might be so focused on one particular thing that you're missing out on other opportunities. You could be feeling a little bit down, or lacking in enthusiasm. If this is in the workplace, this could be you just feeling sort of bored with the daily grind, bored with what's going on, or unhappy with your current job. If this is a relationship, it could be the relationship in a lull, things not moving along. It's that type of energy. So let's see how it ties in with the other cards that we have here. Now, the 7 of Fire, this is fire energy, has to do with the day-to-day matters in life. It has to do with the work that we do, our own drive and ambition and courage for doing the job that we do. It also has to do with creativity, creative endeavors. It can have to do with, doing things around the home as well. But the 7, we have the 7 of Fire here. So the 7, it has to do with usually it has to do with sort of conflict or struggle. The 7 of Wands appears when you're going up against, can be going up against, other people, needing to confront other people, maybe because you have differing opinions. So it's you kind of standing up for yourself, going up against those people. It can also have to do with you feeling sort of overwhelmed, or there's, a lot of negative things coming at you, right? But you are able to stand up for yourself and defend yourself. And, even if you're outnumbered, you kind of have the upper hand. That's usually the meaning of the 7 of Fire. In this particular deck, it's a little bit different because it's interesting because it's portrayed as a unicorn, right? And it has to do with kind of non-conformity, like you being or feeling comfortable in your own skin, not needing to go along with the rest of the crowd, you being happy with, who you are and not really worrying about how others view you or what they think of you. You're living life on your own terms. So, it's all about you persevering, being that best version of yourself, and not really caring about, others. Now, that's interesting because what sits on the other side, I'll get to the Fool here, but, the Emperor is a very sort of, it's a masculine energy. Usually the Emperor is sort of the archetypical male figure, the father figure, but it's a very, structured, very controlling energy. And this 7 of Fire over here is more of a, a free-willed energy. It's more of a, I'm going to be the best version of myself, and not who somebody else wants me to be. So interesting. But sitting in the middle, we have the Fool. So this is in the present. So the Fool speaks of new beginnings, right? The Fool it's all about taking that leap of faith, being called to begin something new and doing so, very enthusiastically, being courageous, taking a leap of faith, trusting in the universe that things will work out for you, trusting that you will be successful, trusting that the universe has your back as you take that leap of faith. And it's new things, new beginnings with the Fool card. And then on the other side of it, the outbound energy is as you head into to the end of the week, is the Emperor. And so the Emperor is like I was saying, it's a very it's a card of authority. It has to do with following the rules. That's interesting because you see how it's portrayed as a man, but it's like a man dressed up in the, man's clothes, but then it's a lion. And usually the emperor is associated with the sign of Aries. But then the lion on this card just makes me think of Leo. So there could be a Leo or an Aries who are quite significant for some of you during this week. But it's about, following the rules, doing what you're supposed to do. It could be people in authority. The emperor is also, he can be an authority figure. So it could be somebody in authority coming to help you. It could be you seeking out the advice of this figure here. It could also be you dealing with large institutions. Sometimes when the emperor card appears, it has to do with, big institutions like the government, dealing with, like the IRS, could be dealing with courts, it could be dealing with banks, educational institutions as well, like big universities, that type of it's that type of large institution. But trying to tie in here with this Four of Water card, so there's some feeling of boredom, of not being satisfied. Could have to do with you not feeling as if, could be where you're currently working. Maybe you're not able to truly express yourself and be who you are within that workplace. Or if this is in a relationship, maybe there's something to do with you haven't been able to truly be who you are within the relationship. It could have to do with maybe a father figure. If this is in the workplace, this could have to do with your boss. For some of you, I'm getting the message that, it could have to do with coming out. And that's a very specific message, but there could be, for some of you, there could be an issue with, you wanting to express yourself and be that authentic version of yourself, and have this new beginning with the Fool card, but there could be some issues with your father or father figure, not wanting to accept who you are. And there is this sort of sense of apathy or of boredom, possibly, with having to go along with what society sort of thinks you should be like, or what, within the family structure, what they seem to think that you should be like, and you just wanting to live life on your own terms here and be that authentic version of yourself. But whatever's going on, there is success here. Let me read you the success card and see how that ties in with everything. But the success card here says, let me find it in my guidebook. Here we go. It says, success can mean many things to the ego self, but the soul only knows one triumph, and that is to love. When your soul is no longer manifested in the physical dimension, it is a time of reflection on how successful it was with that endeavor. The soul doesn't care how big your house was, or how nice your car was, or how many bank accounts you had. Your soul only cares about how you expressed love and compassion. In the infinite wisdom of the universe, the more love you demonstrate, the more you will receive. And even your ego's definition of success is altered. Your notion of how you would be perceived as successful will change. The material things that you thought would make you happy will not have the same appeal. And that's interesting because it's talking about, what is success and sort of your ego success, your ego's definition of success, as opposed to, that truly authentic, version of yourself, and what it truly means to be successful and, to be happy, to have that, to have that happiness that you truly long for. And many times that comes about, in a way that it could be different than what, for example, your family has set as, what is successful. I mean, success does come in many different forms, and not all of us are meant to follow, those traditional sort of ways to achieve success, right? Sometimes we have to take that leap of faith and go off on our own path and be that authentic version of ourselves, right? This can be in the form of a career, like following a career path that isn't that traditional path. Maybe you've always dreamed of being a tattoo artist, or of reading tarot cards, or working with your hands, being an artist, but you've been always sort of forced into or encouraged to follow a different path that really doesn't. And maybe that's what brings about this feeling of apathy and boredom, because you're not happy doing it. You need to be that authentic version of yourself. If this is in a relationship, maybe you're somebody who who had to go along with what your family wanted for you, and maybe you were in relationships that you didn't really want to be in. Maybe you were dating somebody who they thought was successful, and that was the best type of relationship for you, but you were bored in that relationship. You weren't able to be the authentic version of yourself. For others, this could be, if you are gay or lesbian, or maybe you've been in relationships that your family thought that you should be in, but you weren't being that authentic version of yourself. You really wanted to be with a man or a woman or somebody, whatever makes you feel happy, and you can express yourself fully as as the person that you are. And maybe now this is you setting off on this new relationship or new journey. But success can come in many different forms. If you ask me what success means to me, and I'm sure it means something completely different than maybe to you. Everybody has their own idea of success. For some people, success comes in the form of raising a family, right? Of being a good mother figure, a good role model, a good father. For other people, it's about having $1 million in the bank. That's what success is. It means something different for everybody. And and this is all about what success is for you, right? That authentic version of you, and then you going after that, and going after what it is that's going to bring you true success. So interesting message for this this upcoming week. I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and I look forward to reading for you again. And just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful week. Bye for now.